Thank you very much.
Espanola, you brought up a good point too about all of these plans circulating around, and Dr. Rao emailed me earlier today to ask what Arc Ecology's role, I mean, what are we doing here? None of these is our plan. You know, we're the consultants for you. We're the community's consultants. So everyone here has a different role. The Navy accepts responsibility for the remediation, and the other agencies are looking over their shoulder to make sure they're doing it right. And we're just telling you what's going on and asking you to speak up and let your interests be known.
She stated a word a minute ago, that conceptual plan.
Right.
And I was at a meeting and I asked, what is conceptual?
Mm-hmm.
Could you explain that to us? Maybe
Yeah, that's one of those buzzwords that's circulating around now, a conceptual plan.
Mm-hmm.
It just means it's an idea, like a working plan. In the scientific world, it would be a hypothesis.
But it's really nothing to it, is that what you're saying?
It's the best understanding we have of how things work, and then you try to fit things into it.
Very good.
And so it's put up there to attack and to ask questions, but to serve as a framework to organize our thinking. That's
Michael, in the case of the plans for the shipyard, however, it's important for people to keep in mind, from a redevelopment point of view from the city of Lennar, that Lennar last October released the urban design plan. And that urban design plan is the basis for which the city is now undertaking its environmental impact review process. What the community really needs to be aware of from a procedural point of view is all of the plans for the shipyard are conceptual, moving through the environmental impact report process. Once they move through the environmental impact report process, a decision will be made as to what the plan is, and that plan will become the basis of the disposition and development agreement that the city of Lennar will be reaching at some time between December and January, December this year, January of next year, depending upon how the discussion goes. The environmental impact review report is due out sometime June, July time framework, although it's tending more towards the July than the June. Maybe Amy's waving towards August. But you know how things go in the city. Sometimes these things take a little bit of time to get done. So everything right now is up for discussion. The city will be required to look at the plan that was proposed in the urban design plan issued by Lennar, as well as several alternatives in order to meet the criteria under the California Environmental Quality Act. So they're going to do that, and you're going to have an opportunity to provide input to that, as well as the other sub-designs, sustainability plan, park plan, transportation plan, and all of those other plans that lead towards the fulfillment of the final document over the summer and through the fall. So please come to the CAC meetings. The PAC Project Area Committee will also be discussing these issues. So please come to those meetings. That's where those issues are going to be discussed, as well as here. So thank you very much for that. I have two more questions that we're going to be breaking for food. Then we'll come back for more discussion. We're not going to end it. We're just going to eat.
Just a quick clarifying question. Today was the last due date for community feedback for the parcel E2, and
no, it's been extended.
I didn't see any. We didn't see any notification to that effect.
Yes, you did. You issued an email. Mark Rupert asked for an extension, and you said yes, and you said May.
To May.
Yeah, May 1st.
May 1st?
I'm positive.
Yeah, and the reason why I bring that up is I'm glad we are having the meeting today, and that there are some community members. But I think that if there's an extension,
it's till May 1st.
Definitely that should go out before the due date is over for future reference. I mean, parcel E2 is a very important parcel, and community members need to know, hey folks, April 8th is not the due date for community input, it's been extended. So I think that should be explicit. I was a little bit concerned and made sure that I'm here today, but I think in future we should definitely.
Also, it's not the last chance for community input.
I agree.
This is the presentation and steering toward the selection of an alternative. It's not until the proposed plan that the official community comment that goes on the public record takes place. And the Navy has been very generous in giving us information ahead of time so you can get things rolling and get your mind around what's going on, not just having one meeting and getting comments.
Yeah, the objective of this meeting is to go ahead and help people develop their understanding about what the plans are so they can go ahead and comment with knowledge about what the plans are going to be. Mr. Smith?
Yeah, quick question for Mike in referencing the slide that talked about the cost to completely clean up parcel E2. I heard Ms. Jackson talk about $10 billion. I thought that was a little high. You seem to think that was, this figure here was a little high. I think that's a figure that I believe Ms. Keto was talking about. Can you guys talk about that a little bit? How you arrived at that, or your thinkings about that, or?
Save that till later or after we eat?
I think that's a really great way for us to start off the discussion after we get some food. But we'll come right back to that if you don't mind, because it's a really in-depth discussion.
Okay.
It deserves detail.
And it deserves a real.
Yeah, no, I'd be curious about that. I think we'd all be curious, but.
No one's gonna brush it off.
Sure.
Let's go get something to eat, let's come back and have a good discussion.